All right. Good afternoon, everybody. That's correct. We're 2 minutes into the afternoon, so I'm allowed to say that. My name is Josh Doing. I am the Startup Support Manager at the University of Maryland's Ventures. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you who have joined us today to unlock the power of market research navigating UMD's premium databases for business insight. This workshop is part of our ongoing Startup Fundamentals workshop series. It's offered by Ventures with collaboration from the Maryland Technology Enterprise Institute and the Dingman Center for Entrepreneurship here at UMD. To everybody who is attending our live session, you'll notice I just hit the record button, so we will be recording this session and it will be available for viewing afterwards on our YouTube channel. But for those of you who are here live, we do welcome questions. Please feel free to use both the chat and the Q&A function as I'll be monitoring those, answering them where I'm able to answer them, encouraging you to wait till the end if that makes sense, or if it is topical, I'll elevate that question and we can answer it live. But we are joined today by Zaida Diaz, who is the Business and Economics Librarian here at the University of Maryland. And she is going to teach us a little bit about the various resources that are available for doing market research. These resources are available to students, faculty, and staff. So if you are not a student, faculty, or staff, there may be some that are publicly available, but most of these are going to be restricted to being able to log in using your UMD ID. But we are a research institution, right? And so as an institution, we have access to a lot of these amazing tools and databases that if you were a private individual or company, you would have to pay a lot of money to get access to. And so this is a great way to do market research and to be able to perform it using the resources that are available because of your association with the University of Maryland. And so with that, I'm going to turn the time over to Zaida. Again, I will be monitoring the chat. So please ask questions. We want to make this as relevant as possible, but there will also be time for questions at the end. And with that, I'll turn it over. Go ahead.
Thank you, Josh. Wonderful introduction. You stole my thunder almost in what I was going to say, but thank you so much. Yes, so my name is Zaida Diaz, and I'm the business librarian. I used to have my colleague who retired last year, Lily Greiner. So today we have just an hour. I'm going to start by saying that. And we have a lot to cover, as I was telling Josh earlier. So the main goal of this session will be to give you just a general overview of the library. But specifically, I will be focusing on the business resources and those dealing with marketing databases. Specifically, I'm going to be talking more in detail about two of those databases that are Mintel and Simply Analytics. They're very different types of databases and interesting. So I will be using a gateway or a portal, a guide called VBIC, Virtual Business Information Center, to show you all these resources. This is the virtual business library. We don't have a physical building or library like other institutions. So this is going to be the business library that everybody on campus can access. So before I do that, I would like also to start by showing you very quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time in this area. Starting with the UMD Libraries catalogs. So I'm going to turn, just for the sake of, I'm going to turn my video and then I'm going to share my screen here. Hold on just a second. Let me open the libraries site real quickly here. So I'm going to start with the library's homepage here. Everybody can see it? Okay. Just minimize this.
We can see it.
Okay, perfect. Let me just manage all these screens that I have open here. Okay. So this is the library's homepage. I don't know if you all have seen this. I'm going to assume you do. And if not, I'll encourage you to just go through it. This is where all these wonderful subscriptions and resources at your fingertips are available. like I like to say to students, this is your tuition at work. And I'm going to go later to the database finder, and this is where we actually have all the database subscriptions, all those license databases that we pay for, which is like millions of dollars across disciplines. So before I do that, I'm not going to go, like I said, in depth into all of this, but I just want to invite you to, whenever you have the time, visit this website and go through all these different areas here, because there's so much information here that you can use. So you can access interlibrary loan. And I always like to mention this because we don't have everything in the world. We are limited. We have a limited budget, but we do have a great interlibrary loan department, and they take care of things that we don't own, books, articles, book chapters. They are, you submit your request and they try to find it for you. If it's, for example, an article, they will find it and send it to your email. So it is a wonderful resource. For faculty, they can manage course reserve, and for students too, but faculty can post their course packets here, or put books, online books on reserve. You can suggest titles if you want. So anyway, this is all information there. Visit the libraries again. You can take a look at it. And then we have the research and learning, where you can meet us, the subject specialist, and you can take a look at research services that we provide. And some other services that we do provide, like open scholarship services, data services. And I'm going to go quickly here because this is something that I really want you to make you aware. So we have all these different things here where you can just find, okay? Okay, so let me go back. And then moving forward, you can take a look at collections that we have. And in about, this is where you will find more information. So for example, if you want to contact us, there are different ways. Looking at the staff directory, librarians by subject, for example. And this is where you will see we have a large group of colleagues across many different disciplines or subject areas. And you can find us by name or by subject. So for example, in my case, okay, if this takes too long, I'm just gonna, okay, let's see. So in all these disciplines, you can see, and for business, you will find me and the guides or resources that I manage. So like I said, we're gonna go later to this one, VBIC, the Virtual Business Information Center. Okay, so let me go back. One quick thing, if you encounter at any point problems with the database, with the resource, you can report the problem here, and it goes directly to the department that will take care of that. And then we have the Ask Us service, where you can also post a question here. And if I'm not available, you can, or any other person, you write the question here and it gets monitored and assigned to a subject librarian. If it's related to business, they will send it to me. So this is another way to reach out to us. And of course, there are the numbers here or an emails for other departments, okay? Including branch libraries. Okay, so let me go back. So the catalog is huge. There's so many ways to search it. And there's a difference when you search here, remove this. When you search here, the entire catalog looks into everything, including websites. And you can actually search it here. However, I always recommend students to use the UMD Discover. There's a difference because here, if you go into UMD Discover, for example, on the resources, you sign in. So I'm going to sign in with my own account so that you can see what I will. So here I appear. The beauty with this is that whatever I search here, and I'm going to show, just go do a quick example, just a made up topic, market research, for example, analysis and AI. And it doesn't have to be in capital letters. And as you can see, as I type in that topic or phrase, it's showing me in what areas I'm searching. So libraries worldwide, because this is a catalog that looks into many, many different catalogs. I can look at articles and more, books, so all these different top textbooks, all these different areas. So I'm just going to leave it open like that. And it's giving me information about, look at this huge, humongous list of results. And it tells me whether if it's a book, this is quite current. It gives me the options on how to access it, if it's online, if it's a print book, if it's a conference proceedings, or whatever the information. And I can quickly take a look at the book. So let's see, maybe this is not available yet. Request options, I'm gonna go here, and here it gives you, whenever this appears, and there's no link to the specific, like if it's available online, or this means that we don't have it. But right here, you can just click here and request ILL automatically. This takes, depending on where it's located, and they will take care of that, it will take a few days, a week, 2 weeks. And if they have to go outside of our system, it might take longer, maybe more than 2 weeks. But this is just a quick way to find out about resources that are available. The other thing that you can do, and again, emphasizing on UMD Discover and why it's good to use it, is that see all these icons here? I can manipulate or manage the results. So I can, when I hover over this icon, export to RIS format, the Zotero tool. I can, this permalink is important. If I do here, this permalink, what it does is it's copying that string, that information about this book. I can copy it or save it into a folder, and it will go directly into that without going into the catalog. Okay, so this is very useful actually when faculty are preparing for courses, classes, and they want to have this ready when they want it for the students, or for themselves, or for students if you want to use it. So this is to add an item, and when you click on these, all these dots here, let me see, it's not opening. Let me see what happens here. So see, it's adding it. And I don't know why these are not opening right now. I wonder if it's because it's not. This should open for, maybe because they are not available. It should open other boxes or options so you can create a folder. I'm sorry, I don't know why this is not opening. Okay, so right here also you can go through books, articles, journals, and all these different formats for that. And you can limit your results on the left-hand side here. If you're looking for articles, you can limit by peer review journals, physical or print, online, resource type, book chapters, and then I can limit by publication year, and how far or how soon or how recent, I'm sorry, those have been added, and by topic and by library. Okay, so you open here. This is kind of a little slow here. So I'm looking at UMD libraries right now. Okay, so let me go back, and I'm sorry I couldn't open that. I don't know what happened. I was able to do it last night the last time I practiced this. So I am going to go back to UMD Discover here, to the main page. And the next thing I want to do, I want to go to the database finder. Remember, this is where you will get access to all the databases, the resources by type, by subject, across disciplines. Research guides is basically where you can see the types of guides that we as librarians in our own subject areas, we create or manage. And this is the list of them by subject. You can see our beautiful faces there. And let me go back here. So I'm going to go to Database Finder. And here, this is the other huge part of the catalog. So you can, if you know the name of the database that you want, like, I don't know, Nexis Uni or anyone in particular that you know the name, you will go ahead and type it here and click on search. Or you can go by subjects. So for example, business, you can find them here, and we have this structure in a way that we put the best bets, meaning those that are most important to start with any research in business. Okay, and we're going to see actually all of this later. And you can also look at databases by type. So you can go to dissertations, ebooks, government documents, images, music scores, open access, all of these different statistical data, all of these types of resources. You can also search the resources, the sources by these categories, okay? And then by vendor or provider or publisher. So we are here listed all of them, okay? So I'm gonna go back to the title search. And because I wanna start with VBIC, remember this is our virtual business library. That's what VBIC stands for. And here it is. And this is one way to find VBIC. The other way, once we get to the website, you just get the URL, lib.guide.umd.edu/VBIC, and you will get the, this is blocking my view here. So you can, type this URL and get to it. That's another way to get it, because this is a guide, this is a portal, but we have it listed as a database. So here is our virtual business library, and it's another big tool that contains a lot of information. This has been a collaboration that we have done in the libraries, Lily and I, when Lily was working with us, with the business school and the library school. And we developed this tool, this library, for the use of business students, business and economic students that are doing research in these areas. So here we have, on the left-hand side, we have all these tabs that link to information. And we also have this browse by topic. This actually looks quite different because we have been, I don't know if many of you probably know that we have to comply with the ADA Title II. So we had to correct and update all our websites or guides to comply with that requirement. So unfortunately, it changed a little bit the look of these topic areas. They used to be bigger in the front and center here, and now they look lined up here. We will try to find another way to make it look different as we move along in this process. But anyway, you can also search by topic, by title. You can find articles and news in this area, and then you can go back to the UMD Discover and see what I just explained, basic search or advanced searches in UMD. You can find citation tools. So when you're ready to, you're submitting a paper, an article, or something, you use the right citation tools, whether it's APA, Turabian, Chicago, you name it. And then again, we have the research support. And basically, these are some of the same areas that I already showed you at the beginning when I was showing the catalog. And then we have links to other guides like Maryland Statistics, a finding aid, I have here the economics research guide, and I have other guides here from colleagues that prepare, like artificial intelligence and information literacy, government documents, tracking federal information and data. So all of these things you can access here. So I added those tabs to make it easier, and because I think this would be relevant for anyone searching for business information too. So here you have information about off-campus access, a tab to find out about BIBIC, which I just basically explained in brief, and help. You will be in touch with me. You can contact me right here also. And I believe we have, let me see if we have, yes, one of my colleagues, James Miller, Jim Miller, he's been here a long time and he's an expert in patents and trademarks. So in case you want to develop a patent, he's the person to reach out. And here's his link to his email. Okay, so going back to Vivek. So these are the main topics. Again, you can also search them on the site or you can play with them here. So for finding company information, the way we have it structured is we have frequently used or the most relevant databases, most important, listed. Sometimes would be listed in relevant order, or just all of them that are here would be important. It depends on what you're looking for. So, for example, company information, Morningstar, Value Line, these are excellent resources to find information about companies. If you're an investor, these are great resources to work with. They have a wealth of information. These are all, both of them, well established brand names and databases to use. In fact, I was teaching a class last week, 3 classes for advanced financial management with Professor David Cass, and we were focusing on using these 2 resources. And so you can, I don't want to go into this because we don't have time, but you can see by the by this description what they contain. One more thing that I wanted to mention, and I should have said this at the beginning, but still not too late. The beauty of using BIBIC is that you have access to the library's paid subscription databases, but also to the ones that the business school pays for. So those of you in the business school, this is a one-stop shop to get to those databases. They are going to be, they will have information on the like a line stating that this is only available to the School of Business. So it will indicate that these are all we pay for them. So it would not say that, but as you go through it, if you see something like that, it's because you have to contact them. And there's a link to an email that will reach out to them and to the person who manages those databases at the business school. Okay. So for example, WORDS, WRDS, that's a major business tool from Wharton, developed by Wharton and business school. And so we have it, but through the business school. And that's and we have so many other resources. So as we move along, country information, you will see the same structure throughout, and the databases. And we're going to see, probably if we have time, both of this and so forth. Okay. Any questions so far? I know I'm talking a lot. Okay. So I am going to follow my notes here so that I don't get distracted with others and watching my time too. Vedic also is in Canvas or ELMS courses. So it's in alphabetical order. I think it's at the bottom of the table of contents in ELMS. So let me cover that. I'm going to go to articles and news. because I would like to quickly show you these resources here. This is where you will search for either articles, so you would go to Business Source Complete database. This is a core database for business. And as you can see in the description, you can find SWOT analysis for companies, public companies. This is the only database that has the Harvard Business Review, the magazine, not the case studies. We have this question very often. We don't pay for the case studies. There's so many, we don't have the budget, and no institution actually buys them. Other schools across the nation, they don't buy them. So, but we do have access to the Harvard Business Review since it started publication in 1922, full text. And we have access to many trade publications, newspapers, scholarly, major scholarly publications in business, so investment research reports. All of these things are contained in this database. So this is important to know this. Academic search is another major multidisciplinary database that is always good to combine with a subject-specific database like business, let's say. Science Direct is a different database, very good. It covers business as well as science, technology, and medicine. And then for news, we have these other two databases, Factiva and Nexis Uni, okay? And one of my colleagues, because Nexis is a major database. It used to be Nexis Academic, and now it's called, it's been a while, it's called Nexis Uni, and it's used by journalism. So she's the journalism student, librarian, and she created this guide, which is really good. And then we have access to other resources here. This is just a website that is really good, the CEO Express. In Factiva, for example, I'm just going to go quickly and show you, because you don't have to pay for a newspaper subscription to, let's say, the Wall Street Journal. As you click here, right in front and center, you will see the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, the Washington Post, and as you move along these little dots here, you will see others, LA Times, USA Today, Boston Globe, Barron's. So we have access to all of these resources at your fingertip. This is your tuition at work, thanks to this Dow Jones, who owns the Wall Street. So besides looking at these newspapers, the other powerful area in Factiva, for example, is when you go to companies and markets and then select company. Excuse me. My allergies are. So here, for example, I'm just going to type in Amazon using the ticker symbol, or you can type the word Amazon. I'm going to go to the major, the headquarters. It gives you a quick snapshot of the company, which you can navigate down with a description, what classification or industry classification they're in. And on this side, for example, you can read through by using these menu options. So one quick thing that I would like to show you here in the reports, the last item there, they have all these different reports that you can look at them. But the one that I'm going to show you is ratio comparison report, because it's such a great way to look at Amazon, for example, across and compare all these values with the company against the industry, the sector, and the S&P 500. And you can look at all these different things in one place. So that's a quick way to look at that. So anyway, I'm going to go back out of Factiva. And Nexis Uni is similar to Factiva in the sense that you can look for news information as well. And you can also find company information. They have the company dossier, and you can actually find 10K reports, annual reports, or 10Ks. there. And then in Business Source Complete, I'm just going to go quickly and see how quickly it can go. And here you are in the interface. This is provided by EBSCO, a major vendor or provider, and we have many subscriptions through them. So for example, besides Business Source Complete, if I click on the link of Business Source Complete, look at all the other database subscriptions we have. So if you're looking for some topics that deal with business, but then it looks at, I don't know, economics, you can add all these related databases or things that you think might be relevant. If it's something dealing with education, you can add it. There's one here that I always mention, communication and mass media complete. Like, so for example, social media in business, so you could probably add this one too. And we have so many others here. So anyway, you can select all the ones that you want and then search them here. So for example, we can do the same type of search we did before. I don't know, market analysis. And as I type in, it finishes market analysis and I don't know, computers. And it actually finishes or add other similar items. So I'm making this up here as I go through. Just this is just to illustrate how you search the database. Got it. Okay, so right away it tells you whether it's a peer review journal article, and this is the reason is because they also have ebooks sometimes. And so you can go by title. And remember, just keep in mind, this is where you decide the strategy or the search terms to use. And then find information here. And it tells you, from where this is coming from. So this is coming from Business Source Complete. I believe the majority of them are going to be that case. Or this one, for example, it tells you coming from Econ Lead. So for example, I'm just going to go clicking this here. And again, it gives me information. Usually when you get something that is available full text, you will see it right away. Again, you can save this into folders that you create, and you just create My EBSCO, signing in with your university email and password, and you create folders. You can cite. This is where you add projects and name them. You can share, email, print, or download. And in the site, for example, I love this because this is where this saves you so much time. You can select what citation style you want, and it will create that for you. Okay, so this is a quick and dirty on that. And on the side here, let's see, I'm just gonna go back here. Okay, so
Um,
yes,
there was
questions?
a question in the chat said, if I want to follow a particular market sector for
Uh-huh.
news, Outlook, etc., is there a database or another resource that you would suggest?
Yes, and I'm gonna go to that right now. Now we're gonna go to the market. Yeah, those are the databases that I'm gonna go. They're gonna be here under marketing. Um, what the question is looking for what specifically, for example, before I go into this.
Here, let me. The question's from Beth. Beth, I'm actually going to allow you to talk if you want to come off
Yes.
mute and
Yeah, tell me, Beth.
clarify. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I used to use Crunchbase Insights, and sometimes I would follow certain sectors. So, if I have an interest in a new line of technology or a particular market sector, I just like, is there a database that we have that offers that ability to sort of see the temperature in that space.
Yes, yes.
Great.
Yes, I'm going to go through that. The databases, there are different databases that look at market in different ways. One of them is under marketing, both an industry and marketing. It's called IBIS World, which
Okay.
will give you, and I'm going to show you because those are very powerful databases,
Great.
important for you to know. And I have them here in my list to show you. They analyze an industry with statistics and metrics that they look at. So actually, I'm going to go into industry for that and start with IBIS. I'm going to change my order here a little bit. So IBIS, it's an industry database. They analyze like almost 13,000 different industries. And they look at it this way. So the first thing you do is you can type in a company name. It's not for companies, it's for industries. Let's keep that in mind. So you can say, so Beth, for example, since you asked the question, what would be an industry that you are looking for? What area or sector? If not, I can use my own example, like
Sorry,
pharmacy.
I removed her permission. I'm gonna bring her back in. There you go. Sorry, Beth.
Yeah.
Beth, if you want to answer the question, you can come off mute.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I had to hit the button. How about submersibles or aquatic robots?
Okay, let's see. Aquatic, am I spelling correct? Aquatics. This looks into broad, so okay, it looks into aquatics. So maybe we'll look at robotics.
Or submersibles.
Or yes, robotics is there, manufacturing. Let's see submersibles. I don't believe usually it matches, if there's a report to whatever word you type in, it matches.
Yep, that's great.
The related, is this something that you would
Yep.
find? Okay, so actually let's take a look at how the industry, what they look like. So autonomous underwater vehicle manufacturing in the US. So this is, Beth, I'm glad you asked this. This is a great example on how this database looks like. It's very straightforward. Once you identify the closest industry, you click on it like I did, and here it gives you all this wonderful information. If you were to try to find this, you would have to read so many articles and reports and etc. So you can find all the information here, the key takeaways, performance, products and markets. They even have SWOT analysis, which is really, really great. And all these other metrics, including an executive summary, and you can also look at them through this side of the screen. So for example, the 5 Porter areas for competitiveness, you can take a look here. So it tells you concentration, competition, barriers to entry with graphs and analysis. So this is all, again, accompanied by the analysis part, which is really powerful here.
That's great.
Yes, and yes, sure. And then as you go down, you can look at the external environment, all these other areas, financial benchmark, key statistics, key success. So all these different areas will give you information about the industry. And one quick thing I always like to mention, the call prep questions is really great because, for example, if you're interviewing for a job, this will prepare you. You might even be better prepared than the interviewer when you look at all these questions, possible questions about the industry in different areas. So just to look at this. So anyway, play with it. It's a very straightforward, database to use. And it's great to find all these industry analysis and reports with statistics and data. It's one of the most used databases. It's quite expensive, but it's all worth it. And this is something that I will always pay for it. I am holding to it with all my heart. So I'm going to get out of IBIS. This is under industry. And we quickly saw Business Source and Factiva. So I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to go into the marketing topic or core topic here. And the one database that I'm going to start showing, and I know the time is running. This is a great database to look at consumer analysis. So just associate Mintel with consumer analysis, because you can find, as the summary explains here, analysis of market sizes, trends, segmentation, consumer attitudes, purchasing habits. All these things are contained here. And these are millions of reports, or thousands, almost close to millions, because they keep adding as they develop new reports. So it's, let me see how far I can go with this. So once you click on that, you have to agree with the disclaimer that you will not be selling these reports. This would cost a lot of money if you were to purchase them. Sometimes you do a Google search and you find something that says Mintel report, but then when you click on it, you have to pay for it. So you don't have to pay, because we subscribe to the database so that you can get those. So there are different ways to search this database. You can, this is something new that they added. You can register or create a profile so that you can manipulate your results like other databases like that we saw, including the catalog or other databases. So here you can see content type, reports, industry trends, expert insights. These are all different types of reports. You can sort by relevance or by publication, the most recent ones. And here you can also search, and we move this down here. You can search within the box, the search box, or by the categories that they have, and by region, trend drivers, demographics, and look at all these different demographics group. And for each one of them, they have, it's amazing. Sometimes when you look at, let's say, millennials or teens, women, Gen Z generations, it's amazing the kind of information that they have. Special topics, they don't have too much on that, so I won't do that. So for example, I'm just gonna choose, let me see. For example, let me go look at food service, just to show you how the report looks like. Or any of the reports, because again, we don't have time to go into special detail, but these are the kinds of reports, all kinds of things. So again, it's you would think sometimes that you will find industry because they have sort of the industry slant to it. But again, it's just from the perspective of the consumer. And so they're more specific, they go more specific into the sector, for example. So food service in retail, for example, this is quite current. It gives you the name of the analyst here, and you can find the full report as you go down here, giving you an overview, an executive summary, all these amazing opportunities, all this amazing information, or you can navigate through this site. So you can look at the executive summary again, the market, the consumer. If you look at this and look at all these different areas that you can find information. And right here, you can actually, the last item here, when you see those bars, you can actually take a look at the actual survey that they generate. So the specific questions, and this is information that they ask. So for example, I have received in the mail survey about certain products or services. So this is how they acquire all this information and then put it in this amazing database. This is used in advertising companies, by the way. You can see the information in graphs, tables, in different ways, okay? So again, looking at the clock here. So again, just play with this. And if you have specific questions, we can meet and discuss more in depth about this. Let me close this. And then move to the next one. So we saw IBIS World, the other database that we have, and we have it listed under marketing is Passport. But before I go to that, this is another one that I really, if we don't have time to go through everything today, this is one that I really want to point you at. This is a database, is great to get something similar like Mintel, but they have the raw data, and you create a map of businesses, of demographics by zip code area. So for example, I'm just going to go, and this is based on census data, demographics, businesses, in all these different areas. So let me go to Simply Analytics. And then you can use, if you create your own account, you can use it. I have one, but I'm just going to sign as a guest just to make it faster. And it goes into the welcoming part. Right away, it gives you a link or for a tour, which you can take, which I highly recommend it. It's actually a quick tour of the database and explains how to navigate and use the database. But for now, I'm just going to close it. And this is how you start, very basic. So for example, always starts with a location. So let's say I want Baltimore. So as soon as I start typing in, it brings up the city. I'm going to select Baltimore City. And then I can add, for example, Washington, D.C. I want a Washington, D.C. And I can keep adding. I'm not sure how many cities you can add, but I know that it's more than 5 if you want. So for now, I'm just going to use those 2. Click on Next. And then it moves you to these variables here, which you can select total population, age, range, educational attainment, bachelor's degree or higher, median household. So all these different metrics you can add to create a project, so which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave those 2 for now. And here is generating a map of all these things that I added here, just those couple of things. And as you can see, it's right here. As you move on, and you can see Baltimore, Washington, and it automatically brings the US, because if we want to compare those cities and zip codes, we can do that. And then right here is the legend. So percentage of educational attainment, bachelor's degree or higher, and you can see as the coloring, which you can actually change here. If you don't like those colors, you can change your color map here if it's too strong. And then I can zoom in and out and look at this. So this is the map. You can look at quick reports here and see the population and then a comparison right away, in these metrics that I chose. And then we have the comparison table here, just a quick look at the data that I selected. Okay, so I can go, for example, okay, let me go back. Oops, no, I don't want to leave this page. You go back to the map, and notice when I click on, let me point you to this because this is kind of tricky. And when you are in another part of the report and you're in the quick report or the comparison table, see how this changes here? You have to be in the map And then you can, it allows you to move through these other tabs here, especially businesses, which I want to go to quickly. So using the same cities, for example, when I click on businesses, let me see if this works. Actually, I did something wrong here. Let me see. On the data, I think it's on the data. Let me look at the data first. So for example, consumer, let's do this one first. The data, again, from map, go to data, and then you can also add all these other categories where you can browse. So for example, consumer behavior, and this is where I can see in those cities, and I select these different variables here, consumer behavior, in, let's say, automotive, so people, purchasing cars, or all these different, so you keep adding, and then as you change, it gives you more information here, which you can search in terms of numbers or percentages and find out more information. So again, this is just to give you a quick look at how this database operates. And like I said, it's raw data that you can create, which is a lot of fun to do. But it's not complicated once you get to it and play with it. We have a wonderful, wonderful representative for Simply Analytics. If you want a very in-depth, comprehensive tour of this database, I can arrange for him to join us for a specific seminar on this, and he'll be happy. Even if it's one person, he will do it. So again, I'm watching the time here. So this is Simply Analytics, basically. I wanted to, actually, let me, let's leave page. Let's see, we have time for another. There were so much things that I wanted to show you there, but we don't have too much time. Let me see. And we saw IB's World. So the other, let's see. The other databases that I quickly wanted to go through here are Passport, for example. This is a major international database, which you can find. Actually, I'm just going to go, it's under marketing. Many of these databases, they repeat themselves throughout these topics or categories. So you can find under country information, you can find Passport and EIU Viewpoint. Both of these are, I encourage you highly, highly to look at them. They have the latest information, like EIU Viewpoint. It's published by the people who publish The Economist. They look at different areas within economics, business, political science, law are used for. They have information and very latest forecast on global issues, specific economic indicators, market trends, data and analysis. It's amazing. And it's international. It looks at the US and other countries, big and small, including Cuba, which I always find kind of interesting. So Passport, it's published by the Euromonitor, which is a major international publisher, very well established, like The Economist in EIU Viewpoint. Let's see how quickly we can get to this. One thing that I love about this database, among many other things, and you can look at all these different areas here later on, but here there's a report called Pest Analysis. And as you type in, and again, it gives you this for all countries. So let's say I want US. So a pest analysis for US, and pest, it's an analysis, a framework that looks at different aspects within a country. Political pest is for political, economic, social, and technological. And this is like a SWOT analysis for the for the country in all these different areas. It gives you that information with an analysis, with data, and it's quite current. So things that are happening right now that are affecting us as a country will be affecting your business, and all these different things are here. And you can use the table of contents or look at related industry reports. And again, I'm going to encourage you to find these other areas here to discover what's in them. So for example, one quick thing I want to do is in the economies, for example, when I click here, I can select business dynamics, cities, commodities. I want to go to economy, finance, and trade. It's slowly looking at it. Let's see how quickly. It gives you all these different reports. I love this because this is like a monthly, quarterly microeconomic and commodity trends across countries, which you can take a look. Or you can view all, for example, and see the topics, how relevant they are to what we are facing right now. Energy shock redefines global economic resilience, US-Israel-Iran war. So this is very relevant to what's happening now. And this is how what you will find. Some of them are opinion pieces, or like in here, it shows another pest analysis for other countries. But you can take a look at this analysis, okay? Let's see. For consumers also, this is why we use it. We have lifestyles, for example. And it looks at all these consumer information in lifestyle. This provides you the information. It's different from simple analytics where you have to develop and create that statistic data or demographics. So you select that. And here it gives you that with the analysis. And these are quite current. So I'm gonna go back. Josh, I think it's 1 o'clock. Can I take a few more minutes or should I end here?
We have had some people jump off because I'm sure they've got commitments, but
Oh, okay.
I'm okay doing a couple more minutes.
Okay,
If you want to
great.
wrap. Yep.
Okay, yes, I'm gonna be wrapping up. So these are the resources that you should use. It's all here. You can find them in the VBIC once you go into the portal. The session was recorded, so you can again watch it and refresh what I talk about. I encourage you to meet with me. Just contact me, zdiaz@umd.edu. We can meet individually. I love to do that via Zoom or in my office anytime. And I'll be happy to sit down with you and play with this. One more thing that I don't know if I have time. We have, I don't know how familiar are you with Google searches, like the site domain, for example. I just want to quickly mention that before let's see, we just go here into Google. And you basically type in the word, literally, you type site, column, and then the domain is, for example, the different ones you can use. EDU, this will bring academic articles, studies, information about anything that you will type in here. And you don't have to be specific, or you can be general. So I was helping someone, a faculty member. We were doing this last week. And so I'm just going to use that example since it's popping up, and for the sake of just doing this quickly. So again, it brings you information coming from academic institutions, right? Including Brookings. So that's one way to look at that. And this is quite current, and it's a very, very relevant title and report. If you change that same search string to, let's say, gov, we'll look at the same topic from the government perspective. So again, National Institutes of Health, DNI, US Department of Education. So again, it keeps changing the results based on this domain. Gov would look at organizations. Sorry, I didn't mean gov. Org. And it changes that as we move along, okay? So with that, I'm gonna definitely end my presentation. This was a pleasure to do. There's so much information, we stop sharing. There's so much information, but again, I am more than happy to meet with you and do this again if we have to. Thank you so
Awesome.
much, George, and everyone.
Well, thank you, Saida. I think, yeah, like was communicated. If you have more questions, we have research librarians who are here to help you
Yeah,
with this information. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Yeah, I think we usually do this workshop once or twice a year, and so we'll definitely be inviting you back. But as mentioned, please check out the recording, which we'll post here in the next week or two. Appreciate everybody who stuck around, and have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.
thank you. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.